This is the web user interface for the Asus RT-BE88U, and I'll show you just about everything. Some things will be blocked off because sensitive information, as you might imagine. When we first launch the web user interface, it's going to drop us on our wireless security. Over here on the right-hand side, we can see wireless information. Right now, it is on Smart Connect. I have 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. You can toggle this off. Just know if you do that, you're going to lose some of the benefits of the Wi-Fi 7 router. We have our network name, our authentication method, our encryption, and then the passkey. On this area too, if I change the tab, we can get status. This will give us information about all of our cores as well as the RAM. It's saying I'm using a lot of the RAM, and that's partially because of the USB hard drive that I have in here. It does not like it very much, and it is spiking my usage. Normally, it's not like this. If we come up to internet status, which is the first option here, it would show you the WAN IP, which is, as you might imagine, blocked off. But if I select this, it's going to show, again, more information that's masked off down here. But you can see internet connection, toggle that on or off, and then enable dual WAN on or off. Now, if we come down this way, we're going to put things back to our status here. We've got two things. We have, over here on the right, our USB 3. This is the hard drive that I have in there. It's going to give us the name. If I select on this, it's going to give us some information. Model, available space, total space, media server, I can do that, or AI disk wizard, safely remove, I can select the remove right there, and then USB mode, do I want this to 2 or 3, and then I can apply. There is a health scanner, so I can rescan because there was nothing wrong with this, but I can set up a frequency if I have this hard drive always plugged in, and then I can format this hard drive if I wanted to. I can give it a name, change the type, and then format status. I will not be doing that, but what I will do is safely remove the hard drive and give this a second to reload itself. And now that that hard drive has been removed, you can see things are lower. If I scroll down on this right-hand panel, which I did not do before because this was already pegged out, you could see it will show you your port status. So I've got the 10 gigabit WAN LAN port in usage. I also have the 2.5, 2.5 also in use. The green icon means that they're, taking advantage of the full potential. And then these yellow indicate not taking advantage of the full potential. This is yellow letting me know, hey, there's a problem, notice. And then I've got several that are not currently plugged in. That is the white indicator. If I select the icon here, it's going to give us information about, hey, what I might want to look at. If I turn things off even more, now turned off things that are plugged into these, except for this one here, and you'll notice kind of baseline what I'm getting. So about 896 megs. If we come over to the left-hand side now, we can see our client list. So this is everything that's taking advantage of wireless network, and I can select view the list. There are 42 clients, and they will show up on the right-hand side. We've got online, wired, and wireless, and I'll break it down between the 5 and the 2.4 gigahertz, and an icon down there to cycle through them. Obviously, you can't see them because, well, MAC addresses and things of that nature. On the left-hand side, again, under our clients, we have AirMesh. So if I had a AirMesh node set up, its information would show up here, and I could see its status. Over on the far left-hand side, if I select AirMesh, that's actually going to bring me into nodes. Notice I don't have any set up. Over on the right-hand side, it's showing me the client list where I could see all wired and wireless, and I have 39 online. Shows me the firmware where this particular access point is. I can change to network. It's going to give me some information about the network. Some is blocked out. And then management. Oh, guess what? LED on or off. Yes, you actually have to come in here like you did in the other spot to turn on and off the LED. You can add an AirMesh node, and it's going to bring you into how to do that. And then you have optimization. I don't have any nodes set up right now, but I do have the predecessor to this where I could use it as a node. And then we've got our system setting. You have Ethernet backhaul mode. You've got roaming blacklist, system restart and factory default, and then system reboot. Next down our list on the left, we have guest network. By default, it will ask you when you walk through the setup process to set up an IoT network. That's my network right here. And then here, I have a network that I set up for my work from home. This one is a mixture of 2.4 and 5, and this one is just a 5. You can toggle them on and off from here, and then you can select add a network, or you can select a defined network over here on the right. If I add a network by selecting one of these over here, I can do guest network. You can give it a name. You could say this is open or requires a password. You can set a Wi-Fi schedule if you wanted. So one-time access for how long, or schedule, what type of schedule, hours, end time, all day, days of the week, and then 2.4 and 5 gigahertz air mesh. And then down there is a bandwidth limiter and whether this has access to the internet. However, we can also do a specified one for kids, giving it a name, password, Wi-Fi schedule. If I turn that off, away this information. So scheduling weekdays, weekend, kind of when they can access. There's a message board. This is a portal description. Here we go. Or configuration like the other one. And then the last predetermined one, you got your IoT one. You set that up when you first get it. You can do a VPN. And then for the VPN, you would have to go to settings, which are accessible over here on the left, which we'll get to eventually. Moving down, we have our AI Protect. And here you can see I have this enabled. It's through Trend Micro. You've got router security. This is risky because there's two things that I have turned on that it doesn't like, but malicious site block, two-way IPS, and then infected devices. I have any of that problem. Now notice that's only one of the many tabs. That's just networking. You've got malicious site blocking, and this is going to give you information and the device that did it, and then two-way IPS and infected devices. So notice it breaks out everything that you had on your main list into individual tabs as well. Coming down, parental controls. Well, I don't have any people who need parental controls, but if I wanted to, I could turn this on and it's going to reboot the network. And then from here, I can select individual items or MAC addresses and then what I want to block. Adult content, you can expand to have several things that YouTube probably doesn't like, so I'm not going to show you that one. Instant messaging, though. So I could select all instant messaging, or I could say internet, telephone, instant messaging, blogs, mobile. I can pick what I want it to do. Same thing with file sharing or streaming and entertainment. Do I just want them to have access to internet radio and Netflix and things of that nature and no games? You have lots of options. You also have the plus sign. So once you get everything set, you have to plus in order to actually apply things. We're just going to toggle that off because I don't need it. You also have time and schedule. So you can select enable block all devices or enable scheduling. So again, every time you make a change on this, it's going to refresh things. But what this will allow you to do is select specific items to block and say, no, I don't want you to do this during this time frame. It's very powerful. I like all the options they give you for parental controls if you need them. Coming next, we have adaptive QoS. Here we can see these are all my things that are on. Right now, nothing should be using any bandwidth, but it would show you in real time here, and you can have the analysis on or off. QoS, well, if I turn this on or off, it will allow me to select what I want. Am I going to prioritize gaming, media, web surfing, learning from home, working from home, or a customization that I set? I have been using the work from home when my wife is home and I am at home working to prioritize my equipment and stuff that I'm using. Web history will allow you to see the web history of any item that is attached to your network if you have that turned on. Here we have internet speed. This is going to give you a better idea of the actual speeds coming into your networked device because Wi-Fi, very dependent on things. So if I select go, it's going to run a test and it's going to give me my download and it's going to give me my upload. Now we can see I should be getting about 1 gig up and down, but right now I have some weather going on. It doesn't look like I'm getting the full 900 up and down, but I'm getting a respectable 800 down, 900 up. That's not bad. And once this is done, it will give you information. Hey, what level are you at, ping rate, and your jitter. And then here you can actually see the history of me running this internet speed test. All right, we have traffic analyzer coming down over here on the left-hand side. Well, yeah, I was doing a lot of work that day, so it's going to give me a spike, but it's going to show you traffic. What's using? It's going to show you a pie chart, MAC address kind of blocked out, but letting you know what's eating up all of your bandwidth. And if I change this to a monthly, it's going to give me a better idea of what's going on. Total traffic for me right now is 437 gigs. And then if I hover over a specific period, it's going to let me know. And it has used percentage, even though I do not have a cap. Traffic monitoring, if I do this, it's going to let me know in real time, hey, what's using what and where the bandwidth is coming from. So if I select wired, it'll show me all my wired stuff. If I do wireless, I can select 2.4 or the 5. It's going to give me all that information here. A lot of things turned off right now to not have them interfere with what I'm recording. Here we have gaming. This is one of the things that you're getting because this is an Asus product is, hey, you're getting it because gaming, even though it's a self-gaming Wi-Fi router, honestly. You have gaming prioritization on or off. And if we select add, we can specify what device we want as a gaming device and boost that. We also have the mobile gaming boost, so we can download a app for that. And then we have our open NAT. So if I select go right here, it's going to walk us through setting up our open NAT. Now I can turn on port forwarding. I can add to games if I wanted to. Here it's giving you kind of a sampling of games that you use for OpenNAT. Or I can select plus, and this would be manually creating this and then selecting OK. But all of that is accessible to you under your OpenNAT. If I do USB application, well, here we go. When I do a USB into the Wi-Fi router, I can set it up as an AI disk where I could share files through the internet. I can set it up as a server. I can also set up a network printer. I can set up a 3G or a 4G wireless dongle. I can also set it up as Time Machine, or I can set up a free download manager. I would have to install it. But all of this would allow me to choose what happened, what I plug into that USB port. AI Cloud 2.0, well, I don't use this, I have it turned off, but this would allow you to have attached storage or more access. There's some settings there, not going to show you that. We'll move it on. Just know that it's there if you need it. There you can see our wireless settings, kind of show you basically what's there. Some things might be blocked off. That's just our general. We've got our WPS information, WDS, wireless bridge. There's a lot of sensation, not really going to show you that. Wireless MAC filtering, radius settings, professional settings, if you really want to get into things. Kind of glance that really quick if you want to see. I have the performance keyed all the way up because why not? Roaming block list and MLO or multi-link operation. This is mixed feelings about this. Don't have any devices that fully take advantage of this, and I do feel like my devices kind of drop off and on a little more than I would like. LAN information, as you might imagine, sensitive information. Sensitive information, we've got IPTV switch control and VLAN if we wanted it. Kind of block some of that out, but we can select access trunk. I mean, there's a lot that you can do, which I appreciate, but does not lend itself well to showing on video. If we come into our WAN, kind of quickly glossing over what's here, this is the important one that I like, which is the DNS server. You can assign specifically, coming in and typing in your own, or you can use some of the pre-existing ones. So use your ISP. Don't recommend that. AdGuard, I've been testing out, and it's actually very good in that it blocks ads on my mobile device. Doesn't stop your YouTube stuff, but also blocks ads on Roku devices on the splash page, not on Netflix or Hulu, things of that nature, because they're built in. But you've got other types. So you've got AdGuard, blocks advertising, adult content. You've got clear browsing. It gives you a little information of what it does. You've got Quad 9, blocks malicious sites. This is something that you really need to pop over and do if you haven't played with the DNS. Here we've got our WAN. There are your settings for that. If you are interested for triggering, again, just kind of popping through things so that you can see them in the video, and for me later when I forget where stuff is. WAN virtual server, port forwarding, DMZ, DTNS, and then NAT pass-through information. And then coming down, we have Amazon Alexa, which I see no purpose in doing, but you could if you wanted to. I don't know why. IPv6 and enable, disable, set it up. VPN, you've got some predetermined VPNs here. EPTP, OpenVPN, IPsec VPN, WireGuard VPN. And if you turn any of these on or off, you will get information over here in the setup process. You've got VPN Fusion. So if you wanted to add a profile, you could do that. And then InstaGuard, on or off, all for our VPN. Firewall, on or off, general information, URL filtering, keyword filtering, and then network service filtering. Just give you an idea of what's there. Administration, here we have our operational mode, system information, which there's way too much stuff to actually show. That's sensitive, so we're not going to. Firmware upgrade, you can automatically set the firmware to upgrade at specific times. This is great because I didn't fall behind in my firmware upgrades, but I like the fact that this is here and we'll do it for you. You also have the ability to up here. If you have an update for firmware, it'll show up here, but this will also give you status of things. Restore, save, upload settings, feedback, privacy information, and then we have our system logs, which I will black out. Wireless logs, DHCP, IP6, routing tables, port forwarding, and connection. So we'll be showing you the rest of those. And then we've got our networking tools. So you've got network analysis. You can do ping, traceroute, and NS lookup. We've got our net stat, wake on LAN, and then smart connection rules. That's just about everything that we can do with the web user interface for the Asus RT-BE88U. Yes, I know I blocked out a lot of stuff and didn't go super in depth. There's a balance to be had when showing this type of information online. If there's something that I glossed over and you'd like to see it, let me know, and I'll be happy to add that in.